Do you feel like she's your type or?
Like.
I mean, I should probably.
I don't really have a type.
Yeah.
What's
You
that?
just like
Just a pretty girl.
Just anything with legs.
Shut up.
I'm so sorry about my late review. Life has been lifing. Anyway, Dylan, I'm trying not to have a favorite. I really am trying not to have a favorite. But he's so cute. I like the way he was trying to get himself out of trouble. And that comment, he should have sat down with himself and thought about it and really sort of come up with a plan. I don't like the mean girl spirit that I saw towards the end. That I don't like. I think this season, my favorites thus far are Dylan, obviously. Mimi, yes, and Zanti. I like Zanti. I wish she could sort of detach herself from that clique. That clique is not going to be good for her. I hope when a bombshell comes in that she gets along with, she sort of gravitates there, or she even gravitates towards Mimi. I like Mimi. I think they would make a cute team. A cute pair. I wouldn't be bothered if she went home. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, share, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 6, Episode 4. This setup with Emma and Tyler is so predictable. You can tell production have arranged for it. They have arranged for it. They found a way to sort of sneak them into a bedroom to have a conversation because they knew that they needed to have a conversation. And I think with Alicia being the way she is, they knew that she wouldn't allow them to have a conversation. So you have Taylor sort of, it's a rehash of the previous episode where he's telling, that, oh, I didn't choose you because you didn't seem really keen on me. So I chose the person who seemed really keen on me. And that makes sense. You want to be with someone who likes you instead of wasting your time with someone who doesn't like you. Em then goes to have a conversation. So she's telling Zanti and Mimi that, he told me that he's still open to getting to know me. He didn't choose me because he felt like I wasn't as keen on him as Alicia. And it's like, what do you think, Sherlock Holmes? You think telling those girls is going to end there? Obviously, they're going to pass it on. And next thing you have Hannah and Zanti sort of telling Alicia that this is what Tyler said. And now Alicia's upset. Because she's saying, why didn't, it would have been a good idea had Em gone and told her that this is the situation. So if you see me pulling him for chats, this is the reason why, in my opinion, instead of her sort of running to tell the other girls, because them girls are not going to repeat everything that was said. And it's going to be a he said, she said, and then the truth. So I don't know. Anyway, they receive a text message to say they're going to play a game. I think we had a similar game on Love Island UK. Anyway, the guys are first up, so they get to press for, they do the sexy dance, press and get a Polaroid, and then it's got a question on it, and then they sort of guess who the girl is. The first question is, this girl has a black belt in karate, and it's Nico who obviously was performing. He picks M. It makes sense. And they are right. It makes sense that she would be the one who has a black belt because the others are too girly. I don't see them doing that sort of thing. The next one is, this girl let a man suck her toe for $100. Taylor's the one who's performing, and he picks Alicia, which is wrong. And I think he picked Alicia because he didn't want to get in trouble. He doesn't realize that Alicia already knows what he said, because it turns out it's Hannah. Or maybe they just thought Alicia has that sort of kinky side to her and they just assumed that she might be the one. And then the next one was, this girl, a sexual fantasy plays out in a doctor's surgery. That was Indigo. And you could tell by the looks on the faces, without even sort of trying to have a conversation, that it was most definitely going to be Zanti. And but the boys picked Mimi, and it was wrong. It was Zanti, because Zanti had this guilty look on her face. And I'm surprised. Maybe she dreams of playing a nurse in a doctor's surgery. I don't know. But you had, Zayn saying, oh, I'm now going to go and look for a doctor's uniform and also a nurse's uniform, because a teacher's uniform, because my fantasy is a teacher. And that's like, I don't think he's as into her as much as he plays out, not realizing that she is the best girl for him. If he wants to have a girl with a long-term relationship, she really looks smitten by him. But then he's too boring, in my opinion. I wish they would bring Zanti, someone who's a bit more lively. The next one is, this girl cheated on her boyfriend at her nan's funeral. Nico is the one who's performing again. I don't know whether the others weren't as spicy. Nico picks Alicia, which is right. Alicia is furious and says, well, it wasn't at my nan's funeral, it was a couple of hours after. And it's still not a good look, because you're supposed to be in mourning, and how are you going from mourning someone to making out with someone? She said, it's someone I knew from school and we shared a kiss. And you have Taylor saying, oh no, it's not that bad. And it's like, Taylor, you're trying to get yourself out of the doghouse. This is why you're going to say and do anything to sort of make sure she remains sweet. Sadly for you, this is not going to be a good look. I don't think he has the power, Taylor, in himself to play Reese for this season. So it's going to be interesting to see how that fallout sort of lands. This shake it like a Polaroid picture game is messy, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, now it's the girls' turn. So first up is Hannah. She asks, her question is, this boy ghosted nearly every girl he has slept with, and she picks Dylan, which is wrong, and turns out it's Indigo. And Indigo, it says, no, not every girl, I meant some. And it's like, Indigo, just stand on business. If that's what you do, that's you. The next one is she asks, this boy hasn't masturbated in 6 months. She picks Zayn, which is wrong. It's Tyler, and Tyler says, yeah, he is sexually attracted to people, but he just hasn't felt the need to masturbate. And Alicia is saying it's important for her that he actually be interested in sex. So she actually asked him, are you interested in sex? And he said, yeah, but I really just haven't felt the need. And it's like, if you haven't felt the need, how have you been scratching that itch? Okay. The next one is Hannah again. I don't know why. Hers is, this boy has had 55 one-night stands. She picks Tyler, and it's wrong. Apparently it's Zayn. And for me, I think the girls are bored with Zayn, because he's really boring. I'm sorry to say. He comes across as very quiet and very... I don't want to label him, but his processing of information is a bit slower than most people. His responses to stuff is a bit slower than most people. So I don't know whether it's because he's someone who thinks a lot, or someone, I don't know. I really don't know. Something is wrong with him. Next up is Mimi. Hers is, this boy would only consider a relationship with someone who has slept with less than 10 people. And right. Well, she picks Nico, which is wrong. Turns out it's Dylan. Dylan, sadly for him, didn't know what he was saying. Sadly, his response, I think I know what he was trying to say, but he didn't say it correctly, because he was saying, I was being a hypocrite. For me, for boys, when they sleep with someone, they're emotionally... No, boys will sleep with anyone and anything as long as they can. So his thing should have been, my concern is a girl will never sleep with, and most girls will never sleep with anyone unless they're emotionally invested. So for me, it's a worry that how can she be emotionally invested in so many people and continue, because of the body count. His body count apparently is over 100. Well, the boy suggested it. So I don't know how Mariah is going to feel about it, because she said, he's made it worse by responding. I think he should have just apologized and said, I'll speak to Mariah later, Sadly for him, Mimi's now upset because she said he's made it worse by opening his mouth and saying whatever he said. Sadly for him, I think he should have just said, I'll speak to Mimi after this game and I'll explain to her what I meant. I don't mean I don't want a relationship, but there is a prejudice that I have, and should have left it at that. But then the more he explained, the worse he dug himself down the hole. So the game is over. They go back to the villa, and everyone is chatting, and the boys are laughing at poor Dylan, because Dylan sadly has thrown himself in the mud and he's struggling to get out of the mud. I wish they had given him ideas, but I don't think these boys are the sharpest tools in the box. I wish it was maybe last season's guys, because the girls are also complaining and they're saying, how dare he say that? And it's like, we all... If I were him, I would have blamed the African in me. I would have blamed the African in me and said, our egos are easily bruised and we don't want to feel like, I know I'm prejudiced. I know it's something that I have to work on, blah, blah, blah. I would have groveled. And for Mimi to say, now I'm questioning him because, was he telling me the truth about everything else he said, or was he lying to me? I get where she's coming from. I really do. But at the same time, you have to give him a chance, have a conversation with him. And Hannah, the audacity for Hannah to say, the girls that come on Love Island are not people who have slept with less than 10 people. And it's like, who told you that? Who told you that? People could be exaggerating. Who told you that? Not everybody goes about, opening their legs. Some people just brag about stuff that they haven't done. So just because, somebody says that they slept with 100 people doesn't mean they've slept with 100 people. It could be they're trying to appear cool amongst their friends, and actually they are not like that. The only person who knows how many people that person has slept with is the person and their JJ or their manhood. Anyway, I digress. So you have, Mimi having a conversation with M, and M saying, it's probably an egg, the fact that he said that. And it's like, why not speak to him, or why not allow her to speak to him and hear what he has to say first before you start making judgments and calling it an egg? Mimi feels some type of way. She's now thinking, is he an F-boy? I think Mimi is better off with Dylan than Zayn. That's just my opinion. I think Dylan has his faults, but I think he's more her stream. He's more lively, he's more playful, and should be annoyed and bored with Zayn. Anyway, Dylan comes across for a chat, and he's still putting his foot in it. And it's like, Dylan, go and sit somewhere, write down what you're trying to say, read it out to yourself, make sure it makes sense to you before you come back and you say it. Because he's saying to her, if a girl on first date was to tell me that she slept with about 20 people, I would feel some type of way. But if we've been going out for a bit and then she tells me I've slept with 20 people, then I'll be okay. And I get where he's coming from. Maybe the HCP in me worries about diseases, whatever. So the idea of just going about opening your legs is a bit scary for me, really. It's a bit scary. So I don't know. I feel sorry for him that he put his foot in it. Mimi is upset. She walks off, and she does tell him that I'm upset because now I don't believe anything you said. And it's like, he made a stupid comment. Let him prove himself. Allow him to sort of prove that he made a stupid comment and that's not the man he is. I'm happy that they didn't bring in his body count, because that would have just made things worse, because she's already questioned whether he's an F-boy. And so the idea that he would do this is heartbreaking. He now has to prove himself. If there's a recoupling, he has to pick Mimi. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble. The Taylor, Alicia, and M drama is unnecessary drama. Really, it's unnecessary drama, because you have Alicia now going around to every girl in the villa sort of saying, oh, M didn't come and tell me what Taylor said. Why didn't she come and tell me? And it's like, well, it's not just M who didn't tell you. Also, Taylor didn't tell you. He's going around telling all the guys, but he hasn't yet told you what he said to M. So, yes, M maybe should have said something, but I believe Taylor definitely should have said something to you. Yes, he said you were in his top 2, but after his conversation with M, he should have come and told you that this is the conversation I had with M, and this is where we left things. So I've left things open with her, and I've told her I'll leave it in her court for her to make a decision. She's now spiraling, Alicia, because she doesn't know whether he's only chosen her because M didn't show any interest. And it's like, maybe from what he's saying, that's what he meant. You should have stayed your ass with Dylan, but you didn't want to. You wanted the cool guy, and he chose you, and here you are. So, not that I think she was the greatest for Dylan. Didn't want Alicia with Dylan. I wanted her to sort of scoot to the right. So I'm happy that she has moved on to somebody else. But sadly, she's in this situation whereby she's now in no man's land, because she says she wants to be someone's number one, and it's like, you're his number one because he chose you. I also understand where she's coming from, that he only I wasn't his number one, but he only chose me because of the fact that I said that, I was showing him interest. And it's like, I don't think M is his type. I think he's trying to play a Reese. I think he's going to try and keep as many girls sweet as possible. That way, if one doesn't pick him, the next one will. So the islanders go out, they do their toast. Nico does the toast, and then you have people sort of sit in groups with the guys chatting, and Taylor sort of telling the guys about his conversation again with M. And it's like, are the producers continuing to ask him to repeat it, make it make sense? Because even Mimi and M sit down for a conversation, and Mimi's asking again about this conversation with Tyler, and it's like, can we move on from this conversation? Do we not have anything else going on in the villa outside of this? You have the other 3 girls, Santi, Hannah, and Alicia, having a conversation about the fact that they're happy they're in the couples that they wanted to be in. And it's like, I don't think Alicia is in the right couple. I think Alicia is looking for a guy like Zach from last season. I think it would be fireworks if Alicia and someone like Zach were coupled up, because it would be madness all over, because they're both, very toxic. And I think Alicia would sort of flourish in a toxic relationship, and she's yet to find the type of guy. So hopefully they bring a bombshell for her. I can't wait to see. Come on, producers, let's be original, please. Let's be original. Anyway, so Mimi receives a text message to say that, they should all gather on the pathway, sort of where they had the drinks, and the girls are given blindfolds to sort of put on the guys, and it's like, be original. We've seen this before. We have seen this before on Love Island UK this season. That was Omar's entrance, so they've decided to copy it for Sophie. So the girls get to blindfold the guys, and the girls are thinking, oh, what game are we about to play? And then soon after that, the girls are sent another text message through Zanti, where they're told to go up to sort of stand and sort of on a terrace and sort of look down to the guys. And then the bombshell walks in. Apparently it's Sophie. She's 22. It seems like she's a nurse. And she says she's already met Zayn. And it's like, God, Zayn is boring. How does he get these girls? Make it make sense. Anyway, she says she's already met Zayn, or she's slept with Zayn, so she knows he's going to be nervous when he knows that she's there. And for me, I can't wait to see his reaction. And poor Zanti, she sent home someone just because she felt, she had this connection with Zayn, and I hope Zayn doesn't leave her. But producers are going to be messy. They're going to obviously make Zayn couple up with this girl. I don't see him not coupling up with her, unless maybe she goes for, unless they want to switch things around and they decide to make us, Zayn stay with Zante, make this 22-year-old couple up with Indigo, and then switch Indigo out for Alicia. But I think Alicia is more interesting than M, so I don't see that happening. I think M is going to go home at the end of the day once the turnaround happens. So Sophie gets to kiss all the 5 guys. She goes in a row, starting off with Indigo. Indigo is ecstatic when he's kissed. Next is Taylor. Taylor, he's excited as well. He is excited. And when she gets to Dylan, and I'm like, Dylan, behave yourself. You're in the doghouse. I don't want you to go home. Please, just behave yourself. Just, stand there stiff. But obviously he had to participate. And you could see Mariah wasn't happy. And next she goes on to Zayn and tells Zayn, did you miss this? And it's like, Zayn, how many people have you kissed? Because when she said that to him, he couldn't remember who it was. He was trying to go through his Rolodex of people that he's hooked up with, or he says he's only got one ex, and he couldn't make it out. Lastly, she kisses Nico, and Nico is excited. Sadly, this is going to end in tears with the Nico situation. Nico reminds me of Hannah from Love Island USA with Kendall, where Kendall kicked off when Hannah was entertaining somebody else, and as soon as it came to his turn, he was happy to entertain the girl who was interested in him, and rode it to the very end with that girl. So I don't know. Anyway, you have Hannah freaking out because Hannah is worried that this girl is disrespectful. How can she come and pick someone? She's more or less saying the same things that Nico was saying, that, but without saying it, because Nico complained that, how can someone pick someone in the strongest couple? And this is the impression that I'm getting from Hannah as well, that she thinks she's in the strongest couple, so her guy shouldn't have been chosen. But it's like, buddy, you're on Love Island. What do you expect? What do you expect her to do? The producers are going to tell her who to pick, and then she's going to get someone that she likes to pick as well. So make it make sense. The girls come down and they all find out that, apparently she knows Zayn. And poor Zanti is breaking it because Zanti got rid of Kane. I think Kane would have stayed with Zanti till the very end because I don't think anyone else would have liked him. But she decided to, go for someone who she felt she had a stronger connection with. You can't knock her for that. But sadly, he seems to have a Rolodex of exes and he can't even remember his exes. And so she's worried that what if, he decides to leave for that ex. And it's like, I hope they don't send Zanti home. I really hope they don't send Zanti home. I really like her. So hopefully she stays, and I can't wait to see what happens on this date with Nico and Sophie. I love how everyone is teasing Zayn that he's had so many one-night stands, he doesn't know who is whom, because he really is thrown for a loop. He doesn't know who this girl is. And poor Zanti, because he doesn't know who she is, she can't sort of gauge how strongly attached he was to that person. And so she's in this place whereby she's just on a hamster wheel, and she's concerned that his head might turn, and she can't really sort of calm that down because he doesn't know who he's had my turn for. Anyway, you have Hannah have a conversation with Indigo, and she's sort of saying that, she doesn't like the way the bombshell behaved, the fact that, she waved at her when she took her man for a date. And it's like, girl, it's not even a week. It's not even a week. Don't. It's not that deep. If she wants to steal him, she can steal him. It's not that deep. There's no need for you to make it seem like the two of you are already married with a cat and kids and stuff. The two of you were just in a couple. You spent a couple of nights sharing a bed. If you have rushed to making out with him before you knew where he stands, that's your own business. Yes, he pushed you from and stopped you from actually exploring a connection with Taylor because he felt like he was worried you would be the first person sent home. Do I think he feels about her the same way she does about him? I'm not sure. I really am not sure. So I'm worried for her that she might be in this space whereby she might end up going home because the person she coupled up with is not feeling her as much as she feels him. So you then have the date. What do I think? I think Nico likes this girl, but I think he doesn't want to come across as a jerk, given the fact that he sort of told Hannah not to entertain Tyler because he really liked her and they were strong as a couple. Yes, he does say he's got a good connection going. He does say, he's happy he's been picked. But for me, I have a feeling that if there was no backlash from the fans, Nico would entertain Sophie. So Sophie's saying, as long as you say the door is open and you're happy that I picked you, then that's fine. We'll see how things go. And for me, I would be worried for Hannah. Because it looks like this guy's head is going to turn. Anyway, so you then have the three girls. I don't know why Zanti has found herself in this clique, because this clique doesn't seem like the sort of clique you want to be in, because she's stuck in a clique with Hannah and Alicia. I don't know whether it's because Em and Mimi are very close. So they're having a conversation about the fact that this new girl has pulled Nico for a date, and it's like, it's not that deep. You people haven't been coupled up for weeks and weeks and weeks, so keep it moving. And then, oh my God, Dylan, leave me alone. I am trying not to have a favorite couple. I've just been on Love Island UK defending someone, and I really don't want to start defending you, but he's the cutest ever. I see how he gets out of trouble because of the way he was trying to get out of trouble with Mimi, because Mimi's still saying he's in the doghouse for his comment about a girl who has more than 10 bodies. So he's trying to sort of get himself out of that, and he says he acknowledges that he is in the doghouse, but he's hoping that she can just sort of forget about it. And it's like, well, as she said, women, we don't easily forget. So I give her credit for telling him the truth, that it's going on a shelf and at some point we might have to revisit, but I'm not yet over it. And so I can't wait to see what happens with the two of them, because I think this season they're the cutesy couple. They are. One thing I hate about Love Island is when the girls become mean-spirited or become territorial. That I don't like, and I didn't like Hannah's attitude. I felt that was terrible, really terrible. The way she's making it seem like this girl has come and stolen her husband. They're just in a couple. They haven't even become exclusive. So the idea that should be so offended, that should have this mean mug and be sort of showing attitude towards Sophie, I don't get. Because even when Sophie came back, she was the last person to greet Sophie, and it's like, this is not your man. If he really liked you that much, he should have told Sophie that sadly, as much as I am open to getting to know you, I'm in a very strong couple and I really don't want to do anything to sort of upset my partner. But he didn't say that. He said he was open to getting to know her because it was early days. So Hannah needs to settle down. Obviously, the moment he sees her, Zayn remembers who she is and he says, it's some girl I slept with, it's Sophie. And it's like, seriously, you are on national TV. The least you can do is be respectful. Don't make it seem like you're just walking around with your wand and just sticking it into anything. And I like that everyone was teasing him that, is she one of your 55 one night stands? And he just laughed. Obviously Sophie pulled him for a chat because they needed to have a chat to sort of iron out whatever issues they have, and they both seemed very peaceful. I was actually surprised to see Zayn's personality come out, the fact that he was laughing and he was very vocal, something that I haven't seen him do outside of, he had some conversations with Zanti that were sort of very lively, but he wasn't, very giggly and stuff. So it was sad to see. And then the audacity of this boy, Nico. He shut down Hannah getting to know Taylor, but he's busy telling everyone, Sophie's type and that he's her type, and he's smiling. He's not even pulling his girl for a chat. And it's like, why? Pull her for a chat, reassure her, tell her that your head is not turning and you're still committed to her. The same way you told, Sophie that yes, you still want to get to continue to know Hannah. Just reassure her. That's all she needs. I don't like Hannah's attitude, the fact that she pulled the girls and went upstairs and was moaning to them about, Nico not pulling her for a chat. I don't like that. I don't like people being mean-spirited. Sadly, I really don't. So I don't know. I can't wait to see what happens on Sunday. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 3. Bye guys.